What is up, hashtag Soundman Squad? It is Trainer Craigo here with another video. This video is coming to you 8 months later, really, than I really expected it to. So I set up all the slabs back there, some of my better slabs. But today we have cards that I actually got graded myself from Beckett, and they finally came in today. It is June 3rd of 2021. I submitted these on October 22nd, 2020. And I already know the grades just because this was my first time ever submitting, so when that email popped up, I didn't realize that they would instantly tell you the grades along with all the tracking number information. I thought it might have been a little hidden, but it was not the case. That's okay. My goal here is to just kind of open these up, look at them with you guys, and then do a little population report on them. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards all slabbed up. And the cards that I did submit were a Mew Gold Star from Dragon Frontiers, the Rainbow Rare Charizard VMAX from Champion's Path, a Charizard base set Shadowless Holographic, a Kyogre Shiny card from Call of Legends, a Tyranitar Holo from Pokemon Expedition, a Haunter Holographic from Fossil Unlimited, a Charizard G Level X from Supreme Victors, a Mega Charizard Full Art from Evolutions, a Reshiram Gold Full Art from Legendary Treasures, a Charizard V promo card from the Champion's Path Elite Trainer Box, a Dark Espeon Holo from Neo Destiny Unlimited, the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno GX promo card from the ETB, and finally a Crawdon EX from Holland Phantoms. And I'll give a little bit of backstory to each of these. So we're going to take out that plastic first. I think we're just going to go for it and just pull the first one out of here. And I don't know if everyone has one, but at least this one has a grading service card. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I guess they just send these over whenever you submit something. Probably like the invoice. Oh, this is probably my actual summary that I sent in with everything. Yeah. Oh, I guess it's another submission form in case I want to submit more cards. But standard submissions with subgrades, economy level or whatever, are basically like 8 months. So it's a really long time before we get to see anything. So here's the first card, and it is a it's the promo card, just one of the promo cards I pulled from the ETB. And it is going to receive a 9.5. It was one off from getting a perfect 10, or not perfect 10, but a 10. That's a beautiful card. I don't know if these cases are different. They look slightly bulkier. I don't know what the size of these cases are comparatively. I guess, yeah, they're a little bit. They're actually a little bit thicker, but they're shorter. So it's interesting. But it's so cool to finally have these cards back from Beckett. So this is just one that I pulled from an ETB. I think I had two, and I left one in foil, and then this was the other one that I decided to send in. So I think this was the better of the two, in my opinion. But the next card that we have is a Dark Espeon Holographic, and I'm actually really surprised that this got a Mint 9, and this was a Gem Mint 9.5 of the other one. But this was a card that I bought from PAX, from Troll and Toad at their booth. So this is a very nice looking card, and I kept it in great condition even though I had to bring it back. I think if that was a 9.5, that wouldn't have changed anything. But beautiful card. Corners got an 8.5. I don't know if there's maybe that corner. It's got some whitening. Oh no, it's this corner. Yeah, that corner's got the whitening and everything. But man, that is just a beautiful card. And on to the next one. There's a big hitter that I'm really waiting for. Awesome. So this was actually the first and only EX card that I have ever pulled. And I think if that was just a 9, this would have been a 9.5. I'm not sure though. If it was a 9 or but the surface got a 10, so perfect surface. Centering got a 9, and I can definitely see that it is off-centered. It's a little bit thicker on the left. The corners got an 8.5, and the edges got a 9.5. So, oh yeah, there's a little ding up in that corner, and a ding in that corner. So the corners getting an 8.5 is actually pretty good. These could have definitely gotten worse. But this, I bought a booster box, or I was gifted a booster box for my birthday when I was, I want to say like turning 13, maybe a little bit younger. It was 36 loose packs, and this was the only EX that I managed to pull from there. But I was very happy with it, and that's why I got it graded. I mean, it's not a super expensive card. Just sentimentally, I wanted to get it graded. Some of these cards are actually more sentimental than anything. But yes, onwards to the next card. We have our Kyogre Shiny from Shining Legends. So this was actually a card that I pulled a few years back, like 2 or 3 years back now. I think it was about 3. I had multiple Call of Legends packs remaining, and this was at the time when Call of Legends packs were about $20. So 3 or 4 years ago. And I decided, you know what, screw it, I'm going to open one, and I managed to pull this card out of it. So I was very excited about that. SL6 out of SL11, I'm pretty sure, maybe even 13. But this was this was almost a 9.5. This was almost a gold label. Corners and the edges were the only things that did not receive there. And yeah, that little nick in the corner is probably what did it. That one's, yeah, it's these two corners. Now I have no idea. I should have like filmed or taken pictures perfectly of these before I sent them off to do like a guess that grader before and after or whatever. But they were definitely just cards that I was not sure. I shipped them not in the best way, not in card savers. I have card savers and everything, but yeah, that was something that I definitely should have done. Now this, as you can see, it is one of 2 cards in this set of 13 that did not receive a 9 or higher, so it does not get a any special casing. But here we go. It is a base set shadowless holographic Charizard, and it got a 6, which is excellent to mint still. But the only issue was the surface. I mean, when I saw these subgrades on this, I almost had like a heart attack. Like this could have been an 8, maybe even a 9. If this was, say the surface was a 9 or a 9.5, this is a 9 or an 8.5 or something, which makes it much more expensive. I don't know how exactly they do the weighting of grades, because adding these up to 40 and dividing by 4 gets you 7.75, which again, if they were doing averages, this would be a 7.5. But I can see why surface is much more important. And obviously there's some scratches there. There's some scratches here. It doesn't look like there's actually any print lines on it, but you can see the edges here. The surface edges are bad, but like the back's not terrible. I mean, the fact that there's all that whitening and this still got a 6, I'm pretty happy with. But like the centering almost coming back at 10 is amazing. I think it's a little top to bottom. Bottom's a little bit thicker, but this was actually the first big card that I bought when I got back into Pokemon cards about 3 years ago. And there's the first edition one back there as a 7. But I bought this from TCG Player for like $120, and I was super excited about it because I had never had one, and it ended up actually being shadowless, which I did not know at the time. So now I actually have all 3 variations of base set Charizards. I have the unlimited one that's actually in a frame, which I think I've showed off before, but the shadowless one in a Beckett slab, and a first edition one in a PSA slab. But I mean, that was the big hitter card that I sent, probably the most expensive raw card that I sent, and of course it was the one that came back not the lowest grade, but that's okay. And the next one up we have is the Champions Path Elite Trainer Box. There's tons of these in a 9.5. I actually did want to do like populations and everything, but I believe at least for the Kyogre, that Kyogre shiny is the only shiny that's ever been graded by Beckett in Japanese or English. So that's a pop 1. And I also believe the Miyu is a pop 1. So that's very exciting. I mean, sooner or later it'll probably not be a pop 1, but it's a pop 1 for right now. And I mean, this had perfect corners, perfect surface, just the centering, and it looks like a little bit left to right. Edges, I don't know. I mean, I personally could have seen this swing in a 10. Not a black label, but I could have seen it swing to a pristine 10. But a gem at 9.5 is not bad. And on to the next card is going to be my Reshiram Gold card, and this is almost a perfect gem at 9.5. The only thing that was missing here was the edges, and I believe that little nick is what they're referring to, unless down here there's also some edge wear. But this was a card that I actually pulled. So yeah, it was really cool to have this card pulled. A friend of mine actually pulled it for me, but we were opening the packs together, and he opened this one. So very cool. I decided to get it graded, and I mean, it almost came back a perfect 9.5. It's my only. I don't have the gold Zekrom, which I would like to get, but now that this one's graded, I struggled with, like, I debated with what I should send off because I wanted to keep some in the binder. I like having my cards in the binder because when they're like this, it's really hard to grade them, or not to grade them, but to keep them organized. Like, you can't keep them in a binder, but I mean, this is just such a better investment. This is just much more worth it now because I got it graded. And on to the next one. This is going to be almost another perfect. The only issue was that edges again, just like the Reshiram, but this was a Haunter holographic unlimited fossil card. That got a 9.5. I mean, that's pretty great. This card, I pulled myself. I just had a couple fossil packs, and I just decided to open one. And it was like really, I was like, fine, I'll open it. And I mean, I've managed to pull this Haunter. So this is one of the 3 cards that I submitted that I pulled recently. And by recently, I mean within the last 3 years. So right before like the big boom of Pokemon took off again, I was submitting those, or I was opening those, which was pretty cool. Now here, I didn't know 8.5. I didn't think 8.5 got this. That's actually insane. I thought it got the not silver one. So this had really great centering, pretty good surface, good corners. The edges were the only thing that was a little worn in wear and tear, and I can see that there. Definitely down that side and a little bit on the bottom. But this was a card I also bought at PAX. I bought it at the same time that I bought that the Dark Espeon holographic. And I mean, I bought this for $250 from Troll and Toad's booth. And I mean, now I have the Pop 1, I believe the only, or one of like 6. It's a very low population. 8.5 Beckett graded Miyu Gold Star. And this is definitely worth over $1,000 now. So that is a very awesome card. Glad I kept it safe. I actually put it, so I record videos on my phone. I put it in the back of my phone case. And that's how I preserved it. And the fact that it came back as a near mint to near mint plus is just pretty awesome. All right, the next card up, we're going to be hitting a Charizard pretty soon. And just as I spoke, it came into existence. So this was a Charizard G level X that I pulled from a booster box of Supreme Victors that I was bought or was like gifted for one of my birthdays when I was like 11 or 12. It is my best level X by far, and I mean, it got a mint, and it was not far off from getting a potential 9.5. If this had been a 9, that might have got a 9.5, or maybe that would have needed to be a 9.5. But centering, perfect 10 on the centering. Corners were an 8.5. There's definitely some nicks there and there, and I don't think up there. There's actually a nick right there, which is probably what bumped that edges down to a 9. But that's still such an awesome card. I still actually have the booster box that I opened this from. It's definitely kind of torn up now, but I still have it, so that's pretty cool. And that might be one of the last cards that I pulled out of these remaining ones. I mean, we'll see. There's still 3 left. Here we go. This was a 9, and this was almost. If this is a 9.5, no, I think it needed 3 9.5s to be. But this was a Expedition Tyranitar holographic that I bought from Troll and Toad's website, I actually believe, and very nice looking card. And I was deciding when I look through my binder recently and see the cards that I didn't submit that I should have submitted, it's kind of interesting because there's definitely some that I would have submitted maybe over this, but I mean, this is a nice cool old card to have. I think there's gold stars that I didn't submit and shining cards, so I think my rationale was I didn't want to send all my cards away because what if they got stolen or something like that. So I took some risks with some of the shadowless ones and some big hitter ones, but yeah. And we're down to our last 2. And here we go. This is I mean, look at that. 10, 10, 9.5, 9.5. This was almost a pristine 10. Not a black label, but a pristine. It was just the centering and edges that were off. And I mean, I can't even really tell where it was off, but I mean, somewhere it was off. But this is one of the 2 Charizard VMAX Rainbows that I pulled in that one video, where I actually pulled 2 of them in the same video, and it was absolutely insane. But definitely happy with the 9.5 gold label. I mean, that was almost a 10. One of those 2, and it would have been a 10. Now we are down to the last card, and I'm kind of blanking on which one it is, but it is a gold label, so it is a 9.5, whichever card it is. And there we go. It is that Charizard, the Mega Charizard, actually. Oh, yes, and this is the perfect Gem Mint 9.5. Perfect 9.5. Everything got a 9.5. So, I mean, that was close to being a black label. The fact that everything was a 9.5. If it was just slightly better quality, it would have been a perfect Gem Mint 10. But, I mean, this is a card I also pulled myself. So out of all of these, I want to say I pulled most of them myself. So let me actually do that real quick. So I bought that, I pulled that. And I sent a lot of Charizards. I am now realizing I sent about 4 Charizards. Could have been very risky if it had gone wrong. 5 Charizards actually with the promo. I'm counting promos as cards that I pulled. Yeah, so it looks like I sent 9 cards that I pulled myself. And out of the cards that I pulled myself, I think every card I pulled myself got a gold label, or at least it was a 9 or better. But yeah, 9.5. Oh yeah, 9. Oh yeah, 2 9s for that. 9.5. 9.5. I mean, all the 9.5s were cards that I pulled myself, so that means I at least kept them in good enough condition. I know there's some things that you can't control, like print lines and things like that, but I think I did a pretty good job with the cards that I pulled myself. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I mean, I've got 13 Beckett graded cards now, and I have 9 PSA graded cards. So it's interesting to see what is better in my collection, PSA or Beckett. It is definitely a hard call because I have 4 very nice looking Charizards back there that are graded by PSA, and one of them is the base set first edition, so that's really hard to top. I think my PSA collection is still worth more and might be better overall, but I'm very happy with the cards that I got back from Beckett today. And I guess we're going to decide whether or not we want to send in some more for grading pretty soon. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.